بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. We are continuing with Imam Ghazali's discussion on types of reasons and their definition, and we are looking at the first type of reason. And last time we looked at how the first type of reason, or first conception of reason, Imam Ghazali defines it as a potential to receive mediated or inferential knowledge, whether that knowledge relates to theoretical reason or practical reason, or theoretical matters or practical matters. So that much we had covered last time. Just to reiterate, so reason, according to this conception of reason, according to Imam Ghazali, consists in it's a potential or faculty, if you want to call it, to receive, or more appropriately to acquire unmediated knowledge, unmediated or inferential knowledge, inferential knowledge. Doesn't matter whether that knowledge is theoretical, about theoretical matters, or practical matters. So practical matter meaning related to action, and theoretical matters mean related to the facts. So that much we covered. So reason in this conception is faculty, inferential knowledge, and that inferential knowledge can be either related to theoretical matters or practical. The knowledge proper or actions. Okay. And now he quotes one of the scholars of the previous generation from him, Haris bin Asad al-Muhasabi, and says that his definition of reason correspond to what we have said about this conception of reason. And what did he say? He said that this reason is a ghariza, that it's a power or characteristic which makes it possible يتهيأ or إنه غريزة يتهيأ بها إدراك العلوم النظرية. It's a power through which you acquire or cognize or conceive mediated knowledge or inferential. And Imam Muhasabi goes on to say that وَكَأَنَّهُ نُورٌ, as if it is a light, that reason is a light which yukzafu fil kalbi, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put in each person's mind. Al-qalb in Arabic language is used for three things. Al-qalb, Imam Ibn Malik has said in his Imam Ibn Malik has said in, not in his Alfiya but in his Al-Musallas, in his long poem on linguistic triangles in Arabic language. Al-qalb in Arabic language means three things. Al-qalb can mean human heart, physiological or physical. It also mean center of consciousness. And it also means something pure. So Imam Muhasibi said that reason is, he's not saying it's light as if it is light, so he's trying to, as if it is light. The main thing is that it's not a material thing. It's something which the power or ability which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates in human beings, with the help of which they can acquire unmediated knowledge. And this, it's light in the sense that it is non-material thing. So now within this, this light can be interpreted in various ways depending on the level of human knowledge about consciousness. So in my view, it's entirely compatible with, for example, functionalist conception of reason. So it is light which is created through the function of brain, for example, or function of mind. So it is a power which prepares a person to conceive or acquire mediated knowledge. And he says that it is as if it is a light which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put in each and every human consciousness, through which it is able to conceive things, facts, reality. So in a sense, this definition of Imam Muhasibi is a bit it's more limited compared to Imam Ghazali's own definition, because he also included particular matters, practical matters. On the other hand, this definition only confines to cognition of things, or to the knowledge of things. In any case, according to Imam Muhasibi, reason is a power, reason is a faculty through which we can acquire the knowledge of things around us through unmediated or through mediated knowledge. So it's basically a source of knowledge. Reason is a source of knowledge, but a particular type of knowledge. Um, and that type of knowledge is inferential knowledge or unmediated, mediated knowledge. Okay. So according to Imam Muhasabi, uh, reason is إنه غريزة يتهيأ بها إدراك العلوم النظرية وكأنه نور يقذف في القلب به يستعد ويستعد لإدراك الأشياء يستعد لإدراك الأشياء. So and according to Zabidi, Murtaza Zabidi, in his grand commentary on Al-Ihya, he says that this definition is from Muhasabi's book Kitabu Riaya or Riaya. I haven't seen this book, so but according to Zabidi al-Bilgirani, this definition is quoted from that book Kitabu Riaya. Okay, so Muhasabi's definition of reason is it is a power, faculty, or characteristics through which inferential knowledge is furnished, or which furnishes inferential knowledge, and it is as if it is a light which has been put in human consciousness, through which it becomes capable of, or it is prepared. So it's a light through which it becomes, human being becomes prepared to know things around him. Now, from this we know that it's in this first conception of reason is a source of knowledge, one of the sources of knowledge. And by knowledge here we mean information, really. About the world. Although Imam Al-Ghazali's own definition is bit broader in the sense that it's not just a source of knowledge, but it's a source of accomplishing actions, certain actions or plans in the world as well, executing plans and strategies as well. If we look at the, let's start with knowledge. Knowledge are, as we said, knowledge is of two types, Qadim and Hadith. That's the divine knowledge, so we just exclude it because what we are talking about here is nothing to do with divine knowledge. Like divine knowledge meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's knowledge. We are talking about contingent knowledge in this sense, or created knowledge in this sense. So that knowledge is created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in us. And His powers are also sustained by. So those powers which we have been given, they don't have any independent ability. They produce something because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates it and sustain that power. So we are talking about knowledge, contingent knowledge in this sense. So knowledge. So then how this can be divided into there are many ways how this can be divided into mediated knowledge and unmediated knowledge. But that would be like direct knowledge, intuitive knowledge. So reason is the source in here, in this conception. Now, unmediated knowledge or intuitive knowledge comes mainly from senses. And whether reason has intuitive power is a matter of debate. And even if we say that reason provides us with intuitive knowledge, we can interpret it in two ways. Like we can interpret it in saying that it actually has ability to acquire intuitive rational knowledge, or we can say that the structures of reasons, structures of our mind, or structures of our reason make possible certain intuitive knowledge, in the sense that within those structures only there are certain possibilities and so forth. Now this is one division of knowledge. Another knowledge, same knowledge, hadith, contingent knowledge, can divide into kasbi, ghair kasbi. Kasbi is acquired knowledge. Like God has given us powers which He sustains. Through which using them we can acquire certain knowledge. But there are certain other types of knowledge which we can't acquire, but Allah gives to whomsoever He wants. Um, Now, Kaspi knowledge is, as I said, mediated as well as unmediated, and normally we need the combination of these two to get knowledge about things around us. But ghair Kaspi knowledge is almost by definition unmediated, in the sense that we are not acquiring it, but it is coming to us. And ghair Kasbi knowledge can be divine, like the sources, or it can be intervention from shaitan, and with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of course. So there are types of knowledge which is ghair kasbi, but where, so ilham can be shaitani and ilham can be from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And ilham is not purely non-acquired knowledge, because you can prepare yourself for it, or whether to, but it's not purely acquired knowledge either. And then you have revelation, which is totally unacquired, and which is only divine, although shaitan can sometimes intervene in them, especially before the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So in a sense, we can say that revelations can be divine from shaitan as well. But these are all unacquired knowledge, revelation. Now, let's go back to the sources of knowledge. So, sources of knowledge are senses, reason. This is only intuitive knowledge. Reason, intuitive, as well as inferential. And that you have ilham or kashf, and then you have revelation. These two last ones are, last one is non-acquired, this one is a mixture of acquired and non-acquired knowledge. So when Imam Al-Ghazali defined reason as a source of knowledge, it belongs to this inferential knowledge of the things around us, or mediated knowledge. And mediated knowledge itself can be categorizing information into concepts, and purely inferential in the sense that driving with the help of two propositions, or two or more than propositions, driving a third propositions or third proposition, for example. So this is the definition of Imam Al-Ghazali about type of reason, which is the first conception of reason, or first type of reason. And this is Imam Al-Ghazali's and Imam Al-Ghazali's definition of that type of reason. Let's go back and see. what we have covered, and the rest we'll do next time. Okay, so فالأول والوصف الذي يفارق الإنسان به سائر الوهم. So first conception of reason is a characteristic which differentiates human being from other animals, and it's a capability to acquire mediated knowledge, whether that mediated knowledge is about the world around us, or that mediated capacity is about coordination of our action. And وهو الذي أراده الحارس بن أسد المحاسبي قال في حد العقل. And to this conception of reason belongs the definition of reason by Asad al-Muhasibi in his book Al-Riaya, where he says that إنه غزيرة يتهيأ بها إدراك العلوم النظرية. It's a power through which we are furnished with mediated knowledge. And he said وَكَأَنَّهُ نور, as if it is a light which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts in a human consciousness, through which it becomes capable of knowing things around it or around him or her, things about the world, things about reality, things about facts around us. Okay, so we'll stop here, and next time we'll look at some of the criticisms of this definition.